moving into 40K news. Big weekend for 40K, this one.
Yeah. People are going to be going nuts.
The Adeptus Sororitas, or
Sororitas.
Nuns with guns.
Sororitas.
Nuns with guns are here, and their army set has been revealed. We've been looking at the art for a long time, and now we actually get to see what's in the box.
Yeah.
Now, is there a vehicle in the box?
That would be the Penitent engine.
The Penitent engine.
There is no Rhino, etc. in there.
Disappointment rises. Because all the talk of there's going to be a vehicle in the box, that's a walker.
Yeah.
It's not a vehicle. I wanted to see a vehicle. I was hoping to see some kind of like a
the
rhino.
Well, technically it is a vehicle because you travel around in it.
It has a pilot.
One person does, and I'm not sure if they travel or if they're plugged in.
Yeah, there's
hung off it.
There's maybe something he's kind of stuck in there.
Well, that's what's not in it. Let's focus on what is in it. What's your thoughts, Ben? You like what you're seeing?
I actually quite like this. But we've got in here, as a sort of rundown of everything in the box, you've got a Canoness who's leading the way, which we've seen before. We've got the Battle Sisters themselves and there's a squad. Got a Sister Repentia, so the lady with the whips that you'll see later as well if you scroll down the page. You've got the Seraphim, who are the Sisters of Battle in their jump packs. And then you've got Arco-Flagellants, which are a new thing that we hadn't seen until now, which are very, very cool, based on the old, well, obviously the background of 40K, but also anyone who remembers, I think it was Damien from the Inquisitor game, the 54mm game, based on that model, which is very cool. And we also got the Repentia Superior and the Penitent Engine as well, which is pretty awesome. So, yeah, some really nice stuff there, I think, model-wise. I think they look a lot better now we're seeing them fully painted in this way. I think a lot of people were looking at the renders and a lot of the stuff that we'd seen computer generated, and maybe it wasn't, ticking a lot of boxes for a lot of people. But I've seen a lot more people who've been saying, now I've seen them painted, I'm actually starting to really like the stuff they're doing for the Adeptus Sororitas. Yeah, a very cool, interesting new box set. It comes with the Codex in it when it launches in November. They did also say that this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Adeptus Sororitas, and they are actually going to be adding a lot more stuff in the future. So we're going to be seeing things like the Rhino that we got a little bit of a teaser of a couple of weeks ago, some of their other vehicles and stuff, the ones with the massive organ on the back of it and that kind of thing, and hopefully some other bits and pieces too. So we'll see lots of additional elements for the actual Battle Sister squads, some of their special weapons and that kind of thing too as well. It'll be very cool. And one of the other interesting things is it looks like a lot of the stuff we're going to be getting in this set is monopose, apart from probably something like the Penitent Engine, which probably has a couple of interesting tweaks and twerks to it. But then beyond that, I would imagine we're going to be getting some sort of proper multi-part kits in the future as well, but we shall see.
So these will be push fit then, I would imagine.
Possibly.
Yeah,
there's one last note in that article is you've got a last chance to order some of the old sculpts as well.
Old sculpts.
Yeah.
Now that was from the start of the week, and it was one of the things that came up last weekend. So they may not be available today when you're seeing the show. You'll have to go and check. If you're getting quick before Games Workshop do their updates at about 10 p.m. Sorry, not 10 p.m., 10 a.m. on a Saturday, maybe you'll be all right. But
here, bring up the old sculpts and then bring up the new one, just to see a little bit of a contrast and compare.
Okay.
Right, so the old sculpts.
Old school bolters.
Yeah.
The storm
old
bolter.
school bolters. They got the first of the new style of bolter that they then modelled all of the new plastic bolters off. So they're not old school bolters. They're not the ones that you would have seen on the original Space Marines.
I see it looks very similar to the ones that you would have seen on the old Clippy Marines.
That's the Godwin pattern bolter they have. Because I know this because it was sculpted all by Jez Goodwin.
Okay.
So.
Right, so bring up the new one then.
I want to say the storm bolter though is vastly overscaled there.
No.
It just looks huge. Just looks huge.
That is the size of a
It's just being wielded by a normal
Yeah,
woman.
it's been
the new ones are down the bottom here.
No, go to the close up.
I've only got a close up of this.
Yeah.
She's not as fat as the old one.
Was the older one heavy?
Yeah, you don't see that one. The old one, her torso was like that thick, but then it was sculpted by Juan Diaz. It wasn't a Goodwin sculpt. They brought it in afterwards, but she was huge. She was massive. There's not a huge difference between them. There were actually 28mm Arco-Flagellants before.
Yeah.
Sisters had them in the last edition.
Do you know what? They're nice.
This one looks like it's kicking a football.
Nice
Show
enough
me the
model.
football kicking one.
But
You mean this one?
I mean that one. I've seen people have superimposed the football on that base,
Yeah.
and it looks
Yeah.
great. He is just leaning back
right,
for a
stay
shot.
with that
Uh-huh.
because this is where I want to get to. This is the part of 40K I really dislike. And it's interesting.
The body
because,
horror.
Yeah, I
Soccer.
really don't enjoy that part of 40K, and it's my own thing. You know, it's I enjoy the Space Marines and stuff that I can understand, but once you start going into all that
But they probably
creep
were
and
Space
weird
Marines.
stuff, yeah.
What-
But while
what
they're
if
in
you
their
could-
armor, I can understand it.
Yeah, but what if they were in armor and you couldn't see all the gribbly bits? Are you okay then?
Yeah.
What is it you don't like about the Gribbly?
I just find it odd. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying there's something about that part of the 40K universe, that imagery of the 40K universe. This is your Blanchy kind of stuff that I find really, really odd, and I don't gel with it at all. This whole weird flesh over stuff, you know, kind of bits and
Bionic
pieces.
implants.
Yeah, I just find it it's either the most uncomfortable part of the 40K universe or the least interesting part of the 40K universe to me.
I don't know. I think the idea is that they kidnap children and go, "You're going to be a Space Marine now," and then they fail to be a Space Marine. They go, "You know what?
Flush you down the toilet.
If we
Well,
they
you
just
become
mind wipe
chapter
them,
serf.
and they just turn them into servitors." So all these nutbags here, these are the failures of the Imperium. Every time
So
they've
they're
dragged
all
some-
the failed kind of Space Marines. Yeah.
Turned into code-worded killers, effectively.
Yeah.
But this is your
Got to do
child.
something with them
this
because you're
is
not
your-
returning them to their parents.
This is your child-friendly faction.
Yeah,
right here.
That is
Yeah,
true.
it
That's
totally
the one.
is. Yeah, it
It's like
totally
that
is.
ad you sent me. There's an ad kicking around. It came in on Facebook with Games Workshop doing that ad about come on in and have real world battles, and it's all kids and it's all fun, and they keep cutting to these videos of 40K video games, death, destruction, blood.
Slicing heads off and yeah.
Screaming for the Emperor. Well,
Well, the Adeptus Sororitas have been revealed. It'll not be long now before they go up for pre-order. And on pre-order this week, we finally have dropped the Blood of the Phoenix box set.
Yeah.
A big box and a price to match.
how much is it in terms of Bandai collectibles? Is
It's two
Bandai?
Bandai collectibles.
Wow, that's a lot. We should just start doing all pricing. In
Okay,
that.
so this box set,
got vehicles.
we don't often talk about price because it is very subjective for folk, but I got to talk about it on this one. So in UK pounds, this box set is 140 quid.
Christ alive.
Hold
No,
on, I
is
fall
that
off my chair.
RRP, yeah?
Yeah, RRP.
Okay.
Right? So that is 140 quid. It's 300 and something dollars in the States, and probably in Australia about what $10 million or
Yeah,
something
about
like
that,
that. It's
That's absurd.
so it's the most expensive of the boxes that they've done. It has the least amount of models that they have ever produced. Not ever produced, but the least amount of models of these box
in
sets.
one
Well, it's got vehicles though.
And you're making a saving against buying them all together. You're making a saving of about 50 to 60 quid.
Have you had them all in the workshop cart then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I was just totting it up. I like my figures are rough figures,
Yeah.
but this is basically there. You would normally make a saving of somewhere between 70 and 80 quid, possibly, on some of these boxes. So slightly less of a saving, slightly less models, and a price of 140. I was a bit shocked whenever Tom told me the price of it.
Yeah.
I said, "Are you sure?" Because I thought these boxes all kind of rocked in around the £100 mark. Yeah, I thought that £100 mark was your sweet spot. But no, it's £140 as far as I'm aware.
I have to say, I'm not overly enamored with some of the sculpts they're doing in here either. I mean, like, yeah, it's dynamic, it's new.
I like
but-
it.
I like Jane's Eye.
Yeah.
I like it. Dude, the sculpts are beautiful. There's not like the contents of the box are superb. It's
I
just
prefer her over
pricey.
him because
See, I like him
I
better.
like that.
But there's a illustration of Drazar, Master of the Blades, where he is spinning. Have you watched Troy?
I love Troy.
Right. So you know the bit where Brad Pitt is fighting the Hulk,
Boagrius.
and they're in front, and he does this thing where he's spinning, and as he spins, he's got a sword in one hand and a spear in the other, and he spins, and then he plunges it into him.
He sticks it down into his neck.
Whoopsie.
There is a drawing of Drazar like that where he's turned, he's spinning, he has a sword in each hand. He almost looks like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Somebody took one of the incubi, just the standard incubi that they've released ages ago, and sculpted that, converted that model. So he's leaning, he's turning, he's spinning, he has blades in each hand. He looks fantastic. The only thing he doesn't have is these ridiculous horns that they've added.
Yeah.
This is very static compared to that guy's
Conversion.
And you look at that and you go, where's he got the idea from? He's got it from the GW artwork. Why did they not mirror the artwork? They've done it with Jane Zar. They've given her quite dynamic artwork or dynamic sculpt where she's leaping and stabbing. But they've gone, I'm just going to have him standing on a huge bit of terrain. That's how you know he's a hero. He's got his huge bit of terrain under him.
Yeah.
And it's a bit depressing when you see what other people have managed to do with Games Workshop models and a hacksaw that they could manage to get something that looked really dynamic. Whereas they've gone, we're going to tool this to make him stand on the biggest bit of terrain we can find. It's kind of sad.
Ben, what's the plot of the Blood of the Phoenix? Do we know?
So as far as I can gather anyway from what they've included in some of their community stuff is that it's focused around the clash between Janzar and Drazar because they are rocking up together and they're getting into a little bit of a sort of like what would you call it? Like an ultimate showdown, I suppose it would be. Yeah, because obviously Janzar is who she is. She's one of the mighty Phoenix Lords of the Eldari race, and Drazar is known for wanting to cut down aspect warriors and steal their soul stones for himself, and so he thinks the ultimate prize in doing so is to take the one owned by Janzar herself, as you can see here. And so that's where that kind of Blood of the Phoenix idea and title comes into the mix. But this is very interesting because this is then going to lead into what's happening with the wider campaign for for Psychic Awakening, with the book which is going to also come out this weekend called Phoenix Rising. And this is all about that sort of that clash and that sort of expanding on that, but then also bringing together a whole bunch of extra stuff for the Eldari and the Drakari and the Inari, lots of E's in there. Where we're seeing the entire of the Eldari race effectively coming together in a way to try and defeat I would say the second coming, but it's probably the third or fourth, fifth billion coming of Slanesh, who's coming to steal all their souls, effectively.
Well, when it comes to Slanesh, there's always a lot of coming.
There is a lot of it. But yeah, so everything's going to be sort of tying together. There's going to be rules in there for making your own craft worlds, your own witch covens, your own sort of weird Drakari scourge pirate privateer armies as well. And there's also going to be rules for tying everybody together to create your own singular force for taking on the forces of chaos as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how that kind of campaign and narrative plays out within the actual box itself, and then how that ties into Phoenix Rising as a whole going forward. Because obviously, if Drazar's out, for blood and soul stones and all kinds of things like that, are things going to sort of end with him, buddying up with Janzar and being like, let's have bygones be bygones. Let's be friends now.
I think at some point Karandras arrives and
I would love that.
Sticks the head in him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Can I see the rest of the box set?
Yeah. So we've got some more sculpts here as well. So we've got new Banshees.
Nice. They look similar to the old Banshees.
Yeah, not a complete renewal there anyway. I think they're hard plastic as opposed to the previous ones, which were metal and field cast.
Absolutely. Everything in this will be hard
plastic.
What else we have here? We've got the Phoenix Rising book that Ben was talking about.
So the actual contents of the boxes themselves. So you've got Janzar and Drazar.
Yeah, go way up to the top and we get a picture because there's a contents there.
There you go.
Right. So what have we got in there? Couple of vehicles. Right. So you've got 1, 2, 3 vehicles. Do you know what? It's
Scourges,
a very elite
Helions,
force, isn't
Incubi, etc. Well, yeah, everything there is pretty much focused towards being elite. A lot of people have been saying, "Where are my Guardians?" And it's like, well, you go and buy one of the other sets which don't have Guardians in them.
Yes.
It's cool. Go and start collecting Eldar, which contains nothing but Ghost Warriors and Wraith Lords and War Walkers.
It's basically the Iandan stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's the Blood of the Phoenix. It's up for pre-order a little later this morning.
Yep.
Why not head across to store.ontabletop.com and put your order in there, and we'll get them for you and wing its way to you with a bucket of love from me and Justin.
Justin licks 50% of all boxes sent out.
And I kiss the rest. So you'll love it. You'll love it.
This is just because I want more toys. I tried to claim them as my own.